everybody. It's your time to EdUp on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. This is Elvin Freitas, co-founder of the EdUp Experience, and I am here in Doha, Qatar, at the World Innovation Summit for Education 2023. This amazing convention center. It's absolutely beautiful. I have my next guest come on, and I practiced the name before. Let's see if I can actually get it right this time on air. Okay, my guest, his name is Siddhant. See? Sachdeva. Got it? Good. Okay, good. He's
Okay,
the co-founder of Rocket Learning. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me here, Elvin.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here. So I want to learn all about Rocket Learning. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here and sort of experience this advice. I think at Rocket Learning we are trying to revolutionize early childhood education in India. We
Okay.
are working a lot with 3 to 8 year old children,
Ah,
their parents, the community around them, the daycare center workers where they go to get preschool education,
yeah,
and trying to get a better learning experience to these children.
yeah.
Most of these children and families are low income communities and families in India.
Okay.
So that's the bottom 40% of India. And me and my set of co founders, we have 5 co founders, are trying to solve this giant problem of getting high quality early childhood education to around 35 million children in India.
Whoa.
Uh,
All over India.
yes, we're currently
Wow.
working with 2 million children across 9 states.
Wow.
But there are around 30 to 35 million children in India who are not getting access to high quality education. And that's what we want to solve for.
Whoa. So wait a minute. Let's hold back. So you're saying access to high quality education. Does that mean that they get access to not high quality education?
It depends.
Yeah.
I think if you are in an area where awareness around early childhood education is already high, where there are good preschools available,
Yeah.
then I think you'd be sort of born in a lucky area in that sense, right?
Okay.
But to a large extent, I think a lot of focus goes into education after the age of 6. But before the age
Oh.
of 6, right, what is something that parents and communities are not aware of, and that's what you're trying to solve for. So early childhood education, that's really important because 90% of the child's brain develops by the age of 6.
Yeah.
And if the right skills are not taught at the right time, then it's
Yeah.
very difficult to catch up.
Yeah.
So we're trying to bring focus into early childhood care and development,
Yeah.
and that includes engaging parents,
Yeah.
including engaging teachers,
Yeah.
and getting them involved in the child's learning journey.
Okay. So talk me through how does that work? First of all, how do you know where to start targeting your services and what you want to do, right? So let's think about that. And then once you know where you want to go, how does that even, what do you knock on people's doors and you say, okay, I'm here, let's talk. I mean, how does it work?
That's a very good question, and that's why we use a lot of technology. So, uh, two elements to it. I think we partner extensively with governments.
Oh, okay.
So,
Got it.
Indian government has set this sort of beautiful structure of daycare centers.
Yeah.
So each village will have 1 or 2 community centers,
Okay.
which are supposed to be the deliverers of preschool education.
Okay. Is that free?
Uh,
And they have private as well, right? They have
they
some,
have
they have to
private as
pay.
well.
Yeah.
The government part is free.
Okay. And that's
But
at 3 years old.
that is at 3 to 6. Yes.
3 to 6. Got it. Okay.
But what we are doing is strengthening that system. So we our outreach is not a B2C model; it's a B2G2C, where
Oh,
we're
what is
going
that?
via the
B2G?
government.
Okay. Oh,
Right?
government. Ah.
So we're partnering with the government
Yeah.
and doing it at scale. So we partner with the entire district of the state,
Uh-huh.
and then it becomes a government program that we are supporting at the back end. We are
Oh,
providing content, we are providing technology-based outreach. And to your question on how are we reaching parents, I think we're doing it via low-tech apps such as WhatsApp. So every
oh,
daycare
WhatsApp.
center
Yeah.
worker will
Yeah.
make a WhatsApp group of 10 parents,
Yeah.
and we've built a bunch of automation behind it, which automatically sends what is it that the parents are supposed to do today with their
Um,
children, and we ask them to send it back. So if you're a parent and you've done activities for 4 days in a week, you get a smiley report card at the end of 4 days saying
cool.
that you've earned
Yeah.
4 smileys,
Yeah.
and that keeps your motivation going.
Yeah.
So we want to build awareness in parents. We want to give the parents information on what they are supposed to do, and we also provide them motivation when they're doing the right thing. So this is what
Yeah.
we call AIM, which is AIM:
Yeah.
aspiration, information, and motivation. And that's
Okay.
how we keep the sort of circle going. So we have around million parents on these WhatsApp groups
Wow.
where automatically content is going up.
Yeah.
Half the parents are responding back. The others are seeing that parents are responding, so they also feel that social
Yeah.
motivation.
Yeah.
And there's already a community there, right? So it's digitizing an existing community.
Yeah.
So that's technology.
Mhm.
And then we are building some cool AI use cases around that. We're trying to predict as a parent when are you going to turn off the program, right? So we can nudge you before that.
Ah,
In month two, you get a nudge saying that we'll miss you if you don't come back next week.
yeah,
So that's how your motivation keeps going.
gotcha.
And you see your child developing. That's the best impact, of course.
Yeah.
And we also measure whether children who are engaging this platform are indeed learning better, and that we found as a statistically significant improvement in learning outcomes.
Wow, that's fascinating. So, how do you get the parents to buy in on this, though? How do you get their consent? What's the pitch to the parent saying you should really sign up?
Absolutely. So again, that's where the partnership with the government plays a big part of it. So
Okay.
none of the parents actually know about rocket learning,
Ah,
and that's great.
okay.
They know about their district program, government program,
Ah,
which is
yeah.
coming to their doorstep, which
Mhm.
is being delivered via a trusted source, which is their daycare center worker, whom they already know
Ah,
probably for the last 3, 4 years,
got it.
and that's the pitch. Of course, once they get into the program,
Yeah,
then we take them onto that journey of getting them onboarded,
yeah,
telling them about the importance of what they can do.
yeah.
And once they do that, then
Mhm.
they also see sort of this daily recognition which comes out
Yeah,
in terms of certificates, emojis,
yeah,
etc. So I think that sort of keeps them going.
yeah. So it's a gamification kind of
Yes, yes,
process to get them going and keep them
yes,
going, things like that.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
got it. And so, um, you are working with AI, right? And we're here at Wise, and they're talking about creative fluency and the human flourishing in the age of AI. So when you hear that, you think about that. What does that mean to you in the work that you're doing?
Yeah, I think uh, it's very philosophical for education to think of AI, right?
Yeah.
Because technically, you can have a world where the entire teaching learning process, the teacher and the student, and what the interaction that's happening between them can be replaced with technology, right?
Yeah.
But we look at AI as a big enabler in the teaching learning process. What do I mean by that? Can the teacher be assisted in adding more diversity to the classroom? Can the teacher be
Ah,
assisted in knowing which are the children who are probably lagging behind?
ah,
And can AI smartly plug itself into the teaching learning process
yeah.
to make the teaching process better?
Yeah.
It's not to replace the teacher, it's
Yep.
not to replace the parent.
Mhm.
That's never the goal.
Mhm.
But it's to basically hedge for certain behaviors which are not there to start with,
Yeah.
and then sort of continue building the right behavior. So I think smart nudging is a fantastic use case for AI
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Personalized learning journeys are fantastic use cases for AI.
Oh, tell me more about that. Personalized learning goals.
Yeah, so if you're a parent and you sent a worksheet, right, with certain letters marked out, now we're building sort of machine learning and AI models to identify where you've gone, and then
As a parent?
uh, as a parent-child unit, right?
Okay, got it.
Your child is doing the worksheet, parent is sending it back, right?
Okay, okay.
So where is it that we can give you the right feedback so that the next time you're trying the same sort of thing with your child, you
Yeah,
do it better,
yeah.
right? So that's one thing. The other thing is taking it to the classroom. So at the classroom level, curriculum will dictate that chapter one,
Oh, yeah.
page two has to be taught this day,
Mhm, mhm.
but each classroom acts differently. So
Yeah,
can we do smart assessments to then see your classroom is probably at this level and needs revision for this topic,
yeah.
and that is the sort of feedback that we can give to the teacher.
Mhm.
So again, I think the engine needs to be running in the background
Yeah,
and to be able to personalize different things for teachers and for students who are learning at different levels.
gotcha. And so, how long has the business been in
We are in our fourth
existence?
year, so we just completed our 3 years.
Okay, got it. Are you following them? Have people, have the students and parents kind of um, grown out of the the
Yes,
program? Because you said 3 to 8.
yeah.
So what happens after that? Do you want to follow them? What's the
Uh,
plan?
so there are students and parents who graduate out of our
Yeah.
program
Okay.
now. And we do follow them from a research point of view.
Yeah.
So we try to do endlines, baselines and endlines,
Yeah.
which are surveys to see which children are learning at what level.
Yeah.
So we've seen that the parents and children who are engaging with the platform are reaching the top 30% of their class and are showing better scores in
Nice.
numeracy and literacy.
Yeah.
So that's early positive
Yeah.
signs.
That's great.
The other thing is parents are also reporting that they are more confident in engaging with the child, which is a big win,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
Because that really shapes up their behaviors even when they graduate.
Yeah.
Because parents need to feel confident in engaging with the child in education, right?
Yeah.
And these are parents who are not educated themselves. So
Yeah.
70% of our mothers have not taken schooling after the fifth standard.
Yeah.
So they are themselves not educated. So they're coming from a
Wait,
place
what does
of
fifth standard mean? Fifth standard.
grade five.
Grade 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Wow. Yeah. That's
yeah,
that's really young.
they
Yeah.
need to first sort of get confident in themselves as
Interesting.
educators,
Yeah.
and then sort of
Yeah.
go to educating with the child.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because I agree. I think the parents are the first educator, right? The
Absolutely,
lifelong learning educator, which
absolutely.
I totally agree. When you first went into doing this, and I love the name Rocket Learning. That's cool. Uh, were there any things that stood out to you and you were like, oh, wow, I didn't expect that to learn, while you were kind of putting it all together? Were any big trends or anything that you're like, oh, wow, this, and then you adjusted and said, you know what, we thought going in we needed to do this, but now we've had some experience and we found out let's pivot and do this. Anything that comes to
Yeah,
mind?
I think earlier we hoped that sort of awareness around education we had taken as a given.
Yeah. Ah,
That parents would really want or know that education at this age
it's
is
like a
important.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like of course. Yeah.
But that was an assumption that was not true because a lot of campaigns from the public have been around enrollment in schools from a grade one point of view, but
Ah,
there haven't been enough sort of
got it.
mass media movements around preschool education. That's one.
Interesting.
Second is, I think, was a happy sort of serendipity for us was the influence of technology, right? So we have this bot on these 100,000 groups, right, which is sending content.
Yeah.
And around 60% of our parents believe that the bot is their teacher.
Oh wow.
We played into it. We really went into it, and we
Yeah.
we saw this technology being inferred as the system,
Yeah.
and that is giving more respect, more credibility to the system,
Yeah.
and that's really something that I not anticipated.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
would imagine that you would be wary of the bot,
Of course. Yeah.
but the bot sends a message in the morning, and then we see replies of "Thank you, mom," "Thank you,"
Great.
"Thank you, teacher." That's
Yeah. Yeah.
super, right?
Oh, that's so cool. I love
So
that.
some of these things are really
Yeah.
interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, what is the future of rocket learning? What's going on with What's your plan? What do you want to do? What's coming up?
Yeah, I think we are looking to build the first of its kind sort of AI bagged coach for both teachers and parents.
Hmm. Mhm.
Right, an engine which works automatically, which can be leveraged across communities, across governments.
Yeah.
We really don't believe that we will be running this forever, but we want governments and art systems to be able to take this. That's one big priority. And the second is, I think, moving from early childhood education to early childhood care and development.
Ooh.
So, also looking at 0 to 3,
Yes.
and that's when sort of children start doing early stimulation
Mm-hmm.
activities.
Mm-hmm.
And again, trying to focus on how to engage parents and communities even before they enter any sort of schooling setup,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So that's really important, and that also has streams of nutrition, of behavior change.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a complicated process. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. As a matter of fact, we had someone on a while ago to talk about prenatal education, and they were saying the same thing. That they learn so much, even inside the womb. There's so much opportunity within those first 9 months there to teach the parents to be ready to be their first teachers of the child. So there's a lot there. So I'm happy that you're going to do that. Okay, so last question for you is: what do you see as the future of education?
Very, very interesting, very tough question. So I think education from a technology point of view is going to completely look different.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that. Yeah.
I do think that the teaching learning process and the human element will always be there.
Yes.
I do think that imagine sort of a piece of elastic, right, where technology and AI are sort of stretching us,
Yeah.
but the material of the elastic is still us, the human element, right?
Yes.
It's stretching our limits.
Hmm.
It's allowing us to do more with
Yeah.
less. That's definitely. Although I do think that a huge revolution around what we are teaching and what we are learning is also going to happen.
Hmm.
Right? Because jobs are going to look drastically different.
Yeah.
Right? For example, there's this huge body of research that says that we don't really need to understand computation or mathematics now
Hmm.
because there are enough machines in the world to do
Yeah.
that for us.
Sure.
What we really need to understand is what is the problem that we're trying to solve. What is the computation can be done by any machine. The inference of the problem or the solution can now be done by AI.
Yeah.
What we need to do is to frame the problem and the questions correctly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to teach our children. And
Yeah.
that's a radical shift from where we are right now.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay. Well, this has been great. I really appreciate you coming on and tell us about rocket learning and your insights. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alvin. Thank
Okay. I'm going to outro you. And I always did it. I'm going to try again. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been hearing from See, I already messed up. Siddhant.
you. Siddhant.
Siddhant? Yes, I got it. Siddhant. Sachdeva. Sachdeva. Yes. Okay. He's the co-founder of Rocket Learning. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Alvin.
Thank you. You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just ended up.
That's it.
Nice.